Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Average Nerd Podcast. Like usual, I'm Cliff, and this is my buddy over here, Kyle, who just got out of the Navy.
Yes.
How you been, buddy?
How have I been? Well, 4 years of military service is definitely... What was the old commercial they used to say? Accelerate your life?
Accelerate your life?
Yes.
That sounds like an Energizer Bunny commercial.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly true. Let's not say accelerate your life as much.
Wasn't exactly true.
No, definitely wasn't exactly true.
So, how did it not accelerate your life?
Well, let's say that first year, finally getting out of boot camp and A school and all that fun stuff, gets my boat. New guy, just doing my thing, and make rank, finally, which was awesome. Getting to put on crows, as we say in the Navy. Our insignia was a bird that's like this with a chevron on it.
So they're crows.
Crows, what we call them.
So you're not at the wall.
No, not at the wall.
Not at the wall.
No,
well,
not at
that
the wall.
sucks.
But I wore my rank for about 3 months and then got in trouble.
Yeah, you did get in
Yes.
trouble. Let's talk about that.
So I did what's called... I falsified documents on watch, which is in the Navy called
idiot.
gun decking. Anywhere else it would be like, let's say if you're in school and you need to have your parents sign off on something that they read it, and no one ever has their parents sign it, they just sign it on their own. Well, if you do that in the military and get caught, it's a big no-no. And instead of doing what everyone else said I should have done, which was just lie about it, say, oh no, I did not do that. I did what I thought was the right thing and claimed the truth. Said, yep, I lied, I falsified the documents.
Well, that's a good thing, though.
You'd think it would be a good thing, but...
You don't lie to the government.
Oh, well, apparently you need to, or you should, because it got me in trouble. They said, well, thanks for just doing the work for us and coming clean, so now we're just going to get you in trouble and take your rank away.
Okay. At least you didn't get thrown in the brig.
Well, thank God for something like that, no. That's more for the... getting several DUIs in a row and stealing equipment or things like that.
Well, I mean, where could you go with the equipment? You're on a boat.
You would be surprised. We actually had a guy steal fuel from the ship and somehow make it off. And
How the fuck you just steal fuel?
he just took some oil cans.
Like, what kind of fuel is it? It's not like...
No, it's not.
It's not 89 regular you get at the gas station.
It's JP5 diesel fuel.
Okay, so...
And he tried to use it in his truck.
Okay, my next question is, did it work?
Oh, no. Not at all.
It didn't work in
No.
his truck.
No, so by the time they saw that these cans were getting taken by some strange person, not going to another military building, they were going to the parking lot.
Okay.
They were following this guy.
So did he, like, siphon it out of the fuel tank, or...
I don't know.
It's just out of the barrels, or...
Well, we don't even have barrels. They have gigantic tanks, 1,000-gallon tanks, and somehow he was able to get the guys that get the JP5 fuel for us to put them into these tanks, or these cans for him.
That's insane.
Yes. And they didn't know any better because they're stupid. They're fuelies.
I'm imagining, you know, those, like, plastic, white, clear, like, fuel and water and, like, pesticide things, tanks that they use on farms. That's what I'm imagining. They siphon this thing from.
No, he had a legitimate red red gasoline can. Pardon me. But,
that's stereotypical.
He convinced the guys that we needed fuel for our boats, because we have small boat craft on the ship.
Uh-huh.
And then proceeded to take it off the brow onto the pier and then walk to his truck. And didn't make it to the truck before the military police stopped him and convicted him of the crime of stealing.
So what was his punishment?
Oh, he lost rank.
He lost rank?
Yes. He did not go to the bridge, just lost rank, and that was it. Slap on the wrist.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
If you want to try to get away with shit and the punishment not be that bad, go into the Navy, apparently.
Yes, go into the Navy. Well, yeah,
Stupid.
and even in the brig, you only go for maybe 3 days at a time, and they put you on rations of bread and water for 3 days, and you pretty much have to stand all day.
You have to stand in the brig. You can't sit.
They don't have chairs in there. You have a rack, which is a bed that you stay in, or
Yeah.
a cot. I haven't actually been down to the brig to see it.
Well, I would sit on said cot.
Apparently, they don't let you. You have to just stand there at attention.
Oh, well, balls to that.
Yeah. That's what their way of trying to keep people out of the brig is to tell them these horror stories of what happens if you go to the brig.
Oh, man, that's insane.
Yeah. Yep.
Horror stories.
Yep. And I did get to travel and see some strange places.
Yeah, you went to Asia?
We went to a couple countries in Asia. We stopped off at Guam first.
Uh-huh.
Which
And what ship were you on? Just so everybody's clear.
John C. Stennis CVN-74. It's an aircraft carrier.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool. I got a customer that comes in. He was in where I work, and he was in the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
And he said it was the best years of his life.
I'm sure I'll look back on it eventually, but it's way too soon out for me to say it was the best years of my life.
Well, I mean he was like a full timer.
Oh yeah, I did the whole 20 year. Was he an officer or was he enlisted?
Officer, I think.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, if you ever see what they...
Oh no, he might have been enlisted. Never mind.
Well, that's what I say. If he was an officer, then he definitely was living the good life. They have their own cafeteria or a wardroom that they get fresh made eggs for them and omelets every day. All the other stuff's made fresh for them. We get kind of leftover stuff.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I'm not going to say it's all leftovers, but for the most part, I'd say if they have the salad bar, fresh fruits and vegetables and all that, and it starts to go bad, they give it to us.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
Oh, yeah.
So, the guy I was talking about, he said his dad served under General Patton,
Mm-hmm.
World War II European theater,
Mm-hmm.
was in the Battle of the Bulge,
Mm-hmm.
and he was a half-track driver.
That's awesome.
I was like, ah, that's awesome.
That would be a pretty badass job.
Yeah, right?
I was just an AC technician, so all I did was take care about AC units that are about as big as a Suburban, so
Okay.
they're humongous AC units. But taking care of galley equipment, freezers and stuff like that. Taking care of refrigerators, making ice machines work for the officers and stuff. So it was it was an interesting job. Kept me busy because everything's always breaking.
Right. But so you could almost get a job anywhere.
Oh yeah, definitely. I get a job
Doing
we're doing
that kind of
HVAC
stuff.
almost anywhere, but the training they give us is nowhere near as complex as it is in the civilian world.
Why is that though? This is government training we're talking about.
You'd think we'd have the best training possible, but that is also once again not the case.
Oh,
they
Jesus.
they teach us what they can, and they send us to school when they can, which is almost never. I mean, let's say I was there for 4 years, never went to what's called a C school one time. I could have if I had re-enlisted. That's part of their bargaining chip to keep you there. Your mic is moving.
Yeah, what's it doing? Ah, it's gonna fall. Anyway, keep going. I'm gonna fix this stupid thing.
So they keep these bargaining chips for you to try and get you to stay longer by trying to send you to school for more training, give you more opportunities and whatnot. And unless you get things in writing, you never want to believe a damn thing anybody ever says to you.
Right. As you would in the real world.
Exactly. In the real world, they tell you they're going to send you somewhere. For the most part, they do. No. Don't even expect it.
I fixed it.
You did fix it.
Kinda. This is not the best table for mounting a mic
Yeah.
stand, but we're making it work.
I mean, I did do some cool things in the Navy. I'm not going to say it was all terrible. I did go see some cool places. Like I said, went to Guam. Pretty cool little island there. Recently was getting shot up in North Korea. Thank God I wasn't there for that. But nice beaches, nice coral reefs, nice bars all over the place, strip clubs all over the place. That was fun.
I bet it was.
Yes, lots of Australian and Asian strippers in Guam.
Well, Australian.
Yeah, it is right there.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But had some good times there. Wasted a lot of money in bars there. And after going back out to sea for another 2 months, we made our way to South Korea. And
How was South Korea?
very cold because it was during winter time.
Okay.
So it was pretty cold there.
I hear South Korea is actually pretty nice.
Very crowded. We were in Busan, which is one of their main metropolitan areas. So it was a very crowded area. They cram people in buses and taxis and everything they can.
Okay.
And over there, overseas in Asia, pedestrians do not have the right of way. So if you're trying to cross the street, you need to look for cars because they don't have to stop for you.
Yeah, it sounds like something that they were trying to figure out in Britain, to where they were trying to eliminate all crosswalks and all like sidewalks and just keep everything flowing.
Oh, so a free-for-all.
Yeah, basically. But the idea is you're more aware and you're going to slow down more because you've got people walking all over the place.
And we'll see how well that works out.
Well, apparently it's working fairly well.
Didn't
They did it in 1 or 2 what the fuck are they called? The turnaround thingamabobbers, the circles.
The big circle thing?
Yeah. They eliminated those and just made it a free-for-all there. They did it in 2 intersections like that in London, I think.
Huh.
Apparently it's working pretty well.
Huh. Over there, it was definitely different. Because, oh gosh, I can't tell you how many times I was almost hit by cars over there. And thank God that they have translator apps on phones. I had a Samsung while I was over there, which was awesome because I had a translator app, or else I would have been lost several times in that country. Because you go there and all you see is these, signs with that chicken scratch looking
Chicken scratch.
well, that fingerprint looking language that they have over there, and
they're symbols.
yes,
and it's an awesome form of language, much better than ABCD whatever.
I can't understand a single thing that's going on over there
because you haven't done any formal training,
and I never will.
Yeah, well, I don't have that kind of time.
I mean, they
never got time for that.
They do have 7-Elevens and McDonald's and things like that. I mean, you'd be surprised how much American culture is.
I bet. Is it like an M?
Oh, it's still the M.
And it goes ta 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 ta.
No, it still says McDonald's, but they do have different food. Like they have rice on their menus, which was interesting.
I've heard about this.
They do have their own local cuisines at McDonald's, so that was cool. Able to get a Big Mac, get a side of rice.
Okay.
But yeah, Google Translator definitely saved my ass because I would have been lost several. Actually, made my way outside of the city that I was in.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, it was terrible because I talked to the taxi driver. Said I need to go to my hotel here, and I printed out what I thought was a translation. Apparently, it was taking me to an embassy.
Oh.
So I made my way.
You went to the U.S. Embassy?
A U.S. embassy building, yeah, and they dropped me off and said, it's whatever the hell it is. Like, no, thank you, blah, 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 and they just left. This is not my hotel, and they were already gone. Huh. So thankfully there was a guard there that was a little bit more understanding of English. And I said, hey, I need to get to this hotel. Can you help me? And he punched it into the phone for me, called me a taxi, and we were able to make our way there.
Oh, that's cool. At least they were real nice about it.
Oh, yeah. For the most part, they like Americans. For the most part.
Okay.
I mean, of course, there's a couple of the ones that are more old school, and they don't like anybody besides them, their own people.
So were you in like a uniform or just
no, just in civilian clothes.
Okay.
Yep. So we spent a lot of our time what's called
What the fuck happened here?
Did it freeze up?
Well, that's unfortunate.
Did it stop? Too much space?
Not responding. Nice.
Oh no. Just keep talking with the phone then.
Yeah. The mic on that's pretty good, so we don't need these again.
So we can hear it from way over there?
Yeah.
Oh, well that's good.
Surprisingly enough.
And that was the fall.
Okay.
Fuck
it. Who cares?
You're gonna lay there.
God, I need to figure this shit out. I really do. I need a better program.
Yeah.
Maybe a dedicated PC for it.
Dedicated PC.
Yeah.
The word.
Anyway, keep going.
Where were we even at?
You got lost in a
Oh
guard.
yeah, we got lost and we got to our hotel, but we spent most of our time at Tejas Street. We call it Texas Street.
Texas Street.
Texas Street. And it's basically a big alley bazaar of shops and stands, like the people there just trying to throw food in your face.
And shit at you.
Oh my gosh, yeah, let's just, what's some of that fancy fashion shit that women buy? Gucci.
Okay.
All kinds of stuff that has Gucci stickers, of course, like stuff thrown on it, and you know it's fake, because you can just peel off the Gucci symbols. And,
like Michael Kors.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like Prada bags for $20. Which of course is nowhere near right.
Yeah.
Ray-Bans for $10. Good Ray-Bans. So I mean, they were really good fakes. Let's say that I could probably bring some back here, and I could have sold some, and no one would have been even the wiser.
Yeah, probably.
But I had some really awesome food stands over there. I had some great cuisines. I mean, most of the time, if the place looks really sketchy, it's some of the best food you'll ever eat.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I had for the first time tried bulgogi, which is one of the best foods I've ever had in my entire life.
Bulgogi.
It's like beef strips, kind of like what you would have for cheesesteak, the big strips of beef, except it's thicker, and they make it in a big, what the hell do they call it? The wok. In the wok.
I have a wok.
Mm-hmm. And it's delicious. You have to try and find a place to get some bulgogi.
Ooh.
Every time I went somewhere that had bulgogi, I was getting it.
Actually, I think I might make Asian for dinner. How do you feel about that?
You should look and that would be fine with me. I haven't had. Well, I mean, we actually have a lot of good places over on the West Coast for Asian food, surprisingly.
Well, this is my vision of it, so it's okay.
Good. Yep.
After that, I'll throw out some steaks.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, you've been back for a few weeks. It's after Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
It was a pretty good Christmas. Not bad.
Mostly.
I had off for Christmas, which is one of the few days in the year where I actually get off for a holiday. But you went and saw Star Wars: Last Jedi. Yes. I saw it. Mm-hmm. Okay. Here's my interpretation of it. And I
may need a drink for this one.
Full interpretation.
Uh-huh.
It is a movie about failure. That's its main theme.
It could definitely be a movie construed for failure, that's for sure. All about Luke talking about all the things you
Oh,
want to do.
spoiler alert.
Oh,
Spoiler
alert.
Okay.
Big
If you don't want to hear any of it, just shut this off, and we're going in 3, 2, 1. Okay, go.
So yeah, Luke talking all about his failures with Kylo. And how do I feel about that too? He saw the bad in him and tried to eliminate it before.
Yeah,
it
but like
became
how
problem.
though? There's so many plot holes and
Oh no, I trust me. And I was
just it needs to fill it in somehow.
Well, I feel like I was super excited for this movie to fill the gaps that
The Force Awakens.
Force Awakens left.
Yeah.
And I had all these expectations for this movie, especially with Rey handing the lightsaber to Luke Skywalker. And
Oh my god, that was one of the best scenes in the entire movie where he's looking at it and he just goes,
yeah, like
I don't want it.
What the hell? I thought that was.
Oh man, I was like, oh, this is how this is gonna go.
Yeah.
Okay, I am down with that.
Well, they had a lot of comedy in this one, which was definitely.
It was good comedy. I thought it was
I
okay.
feel like that first joke they did in the beginning of the movie with Poe Dameron and that General Hawks.
Yeah.
Maybe almost too drawn out, though.
Too drawn out, yes. If they would have just knocked it down by like 15 seconds
I
and
would've been
maybe
happy.
one less knock joke,
Yes.
it would have been better.
Oh,
I feel it was a great scene, and it didn't necessarily set the pace for the movie, but it was really good to get the audience interested.
Yeah.
And that's just Poe's character,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is great. A little bit of comedy in Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, you got that in the prequels with Jar Jar,
Mm.
but it was a kid version of comedy.
Yeah.
It was very very meant to draw a younger audience in.
Mm-hmm.
At this point in time, everybody knows about Star Wars,
Mm-hmm.
so they're going to get drawn in anyway.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I took away from it, and reading reviews online and hearing about half of the population really loving it and then another half really hating it,
Mm-hmm.
and this is how I feel. Everybody in the world, whether they will admit it or not, wanted The Empire Strikes Back, and they didn't get The Empire Strikes Back, and that's what they're mad at.
Yeah, because they already...
They didn't really want Empire Strikes Back, but let's face it, they wanted Empire Strikes Back.
And then at the same token, these are the same people that in the Force Awakens, like, it's too much like A New Hope. Like A New Hope.
Exactly. But them coming into this, they're like, "Oh my god, I hope it doesn't
Empire
suck.
Strikes Back,
I hope it's
yeah.
not like bad. I want Empire Strikes Back,
Mhm.
even though that's not the way it should be. But
Yeah.
in their hearts, they're like,
Empire Strikes Back.
it needs to be Empire.
Yeah. And it almost was. I mean, they had a lot of aspects of Empire Strikes Back, like the new AT-M6s, which are awesome.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, those are pretty sick.
They just turned them from just, what are those tall, lanky dogs that are just,
Yeah.
they look too much like, what the hell were they called? Those, whatever those setters are. Look too much like those, and now they're like bear gorillas.
Yeah.
I love them. So
Yeah.
much better looking than before.
Yeah, very semi-reminiscent of like the Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm. I like how they're kind of mixing the looks.
Yeah.
Because I liked a lot of the looks of ships in the early Republic era of the prequel series
Yeah.
versus the New Hope series into now. I did like a lot of
The thing with that is, like, those ships are meant to be military ships. They were created for a specific army.
Mhm.
X-Wings, A-Wings, your B-Wings, those are all, like, made for the highest bidder.
Mhm.
They were an independent contractor.
That's why I like they actually tied that in this movie, too. We're talking about, what was his name? Benicio del Toro's character.
I don't even know his name.
The hacker,
Yeah.
whatever the hell his name was.
Slicer.
Yes.
The Slicer
I
character.
liked what he was showing with Finn, because Finn likes to see things as black and white. We're good, we're fighting the bad.
Yeah.
And he said, I don't know about this, buddy. You need to look at the big picture here. This person here, yes, they sold stuff to the First Order, but look at this. An X-Wing. Wow, they're selling to both sides. You need to get your head on straight and realize that not everything is as black and white. There's this big...
It's like the movie Lord of War.
Mm-hmm. Great
yeah.
movie.
But, I liked a lot of aspects of this movie, but it just, the flow was all wrong, and they would cut from something like really, really interesting to jumping into something you really don't give a shit about.
Yeah.
Like the Casino Planet.
Yeah.
What a disappointment that was.
That could have been a lot better.
You know what would have made that that entire thing better and would have tied in really nice? Remember that one panning shot where it's like, oh, there's the casino, and then it pans over and you see the track? And it's the fucking dog beast running. It would have been so much better if it were pod racing.
I was just thinking pod racing would have been cool.
It would have tied in so well, and the general audience wouldn't have thought that pod racing was only on Tatooine, and it would just made it a broad thing, and it's like, this is like NASCAR or...
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because a lot of people got frustrated because, who was it? Bill was the one that was telling us back when we were a lot younger that the pod racing scene got thrown into it because of somebody's kid wanted them to have a racing scene.
And I was fine with the pod
I
racing.
was too. It was an awesome scene.
Yeah.
I liked it. And if they had thrown it into it, it would have shown that, oh, it wasn't just for that movie.
It would have expanded the universe.
Exactly.
As we know it.
Exactly. They need to kind of show that the universe is, or the galaxy, I should say, is more commingled than we thought.
Yeah. The themes behind the casino scene were pretty good. Just the entire thing was just drawn out, and I just didn't care enough.
I think it would have been a lot funnier if there was just random huts thrown in there in Barbie, like the pit boss huts with all their money, doing their gambling thing, still being the crime lords they are, just doing their dice things. I thought that would have been hilarious.
That would have been cool. That would have tied in also, but like just the whole thing, I just didn't care about. Like I wanted to. I was sitting there like, all right, is this going to go somewhere? Because I work in a casino.
Yeah.
It all looks the same to me. I was bored with it.
Yeah.
But I mean the whole thing, and then the little kid, force sensitive kids.
Right. Did you see that at the end of the movie, by the way?
Yeah, I did.
The broom.
Yeah.
I didn't
which
notice
leads
that.
me to believe. Okay, here's a theory of mine. Because you don't see it from anybody else, really. You don't see anybody else's like origins like that. Is it just because you just see it within the theme within these movies? Is it slave kids who have force abilities?
I think
Anakin was a slave. Luke wasn't a slave, but he was still Anakin's kid. Which
descendant of slave.
Yeah, descendant. And then this little kid right here was a slave also. And you don't know anybody else's past from like the First Republic or any of that.
Right.
And or the Old Republic, I should say.
Right.
You don't know Yoda's past unless you read up on it. You don't know anything about Obi-Wan or even Qui-Gon or even Yoda's past.
But even then, all of those novels and things are just, they don't even matter to this.
Yeah, they don't matter
So
anymore.
even if you were knowledgeable enough to have read any of the books and seen how Han Solo's past was, or Yoda's past, or even Boba Fett, any of them, all those books don't even matter. Which in a way kind of tweaked me a little bit because I like some of those backstories, especially Han's.
Well, I mean, we're getting a movie on it.
Did you also hear that might be Chris Pine? Apparently, that's supposed to play Han.
No, they casted somebody else. I don't know his name.
Because I heard rumors of Chris Pine. I'm like, why would they do that? Chris Pine now is older than Harrison Ford was when he first played Han.
Yeah,
didn't make any sense.
And you can't do a cross thing between Star Trek and Star Wars.
No.
I mean,
J.J. Abrams doing both movies is enough as it is, and thank God he's a good enough of a director, producer, whatever the hell he is, to split them apart and do a movie right.
Yeah, well, I was hearing one review that Abrams didn't take enough risks with The Force Awakens, while Rian Johnson took too many risks.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So I think those two need to get together. Well, that Rian Johnson guy, they're already planning another series after this, another 3 movies.
Yeah, no, he's signed off to direct and do another 3 movies.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering about this. I don't know how it's gonna go.
They're just trying to. Well, they're gonna have to find something because the whole entire Star Wars story is the Skywalker story.
Yeah.
So, obviously, now spoiler alert. I think it's ironic that the only person who's still around in the movies is the only person who's now dead.
Yeah. Let's talk about that scene where she gets blown out into space.
Blown out into space, like, oh well, that was.
If they would have just left it at that, I would have been 100% okay with it.
But do you think it would have been too tragic of a way for them to take her out of the movie? Or
No,
would that have been
I
like,
didn't
oh my
feel
gosh,
that
too
way.
soon?
I didn't feel that way.
I felt like it would have been right.
When I watched it, I was like, that's kind of a fitting death right there.
Because it was sad, and she went down doing what she loved, and she knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And it made it sad.
Yeah.
Which is what it was good, because Kylo obviously didn't want to take the shot.
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
other guy did. His own pilot.
His own
His own
flanking.
Exactly. Took the shot that blew out the bridge that killed his mother. Because he couldn't take the shot. That would have been a good scene, because it showed that he still had the humanity. So he still thinks she's alive then, doesn't he? Or no, he still thinks she's dead.
Still thinks she's dead because he flew away.
Ah.
Yeah.
All sad.
But like, how are they gonna? Okay, they're gonna obviously kill her off in the next.
They have
movie.
to.
If they just do it in the scroll, in the opening credits, I would be okay with that. Just mention something like with the departure of her brother, she couldn't carry on anymore, and she passed on.
So
if they just stick it in there and make a nice little nod, I hope they just do that. I don't want to see.
So does she? She knows Luke's gone, obviously, because if she knew Han.
Yeah,
died
they have
when
that
he
connection.
Did, yeah, because Rey's like, I felt him leave, I felt him die. So obviously Leia must know too, but I don't feel like they can do that now because obviously she's gotten stronger like that. She came out of her little coma.
Well, I feel like it was just
I think
like a natural instinct kind of thing because you haven't heard anything of her using Force abilities at all
until this. I was like,
until that.
I was actually pretty happy that she learned a little bit. I know it was like that whole you never saw her do anything except feel the force of her sibling and her father.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden she can manipulate it. But it makes sense. It has been decades since we last saw them after.
Yeah, but when that happened, I was just like, oh, come the fuck on! Are you fucking kidding me? You will die in space. All of the air in your body gets rushed out of your lungs.
And you freeze.
Like
Guardians of the Galaxy kind of stuff, right? Where you see them just crystallize and they're just floating off into space.
You're done after that.
Yeah,
There's no coming back from that.
Yeah, back into space, you're done. If anything, it's a violent death because the back end of space will literally suck all the air out of your lungs and probably some of your bits and pieces on the inside at the same time. So yeah, it's Disney. Oh. It's Disney.
Fuck you, Disney.
Disney.
Fuck you, Disney.
Well, that's why they had so much comedy in it, because they definitely didn't have it in The Force Awakens, and they threw it in there. They
had a little bit in The Force Awakens.
Like this much.
Yeah, this much.
But this time it was like, we had some comedy. Now we've got all these jokes we didn't use. Throw it at this new movie.
I just feel like
you said, this guy took way too many risks compared to what J.J. Abrams did with The Force Awakens. So I'm hoping with the next movie, I want it to be dark. I want it to be like Revenge of the Sith dark. At the same time, have a little bit of comedy in it. Because I don't want it to be too dark where it's like depressing. You know what I mean? Because obviously, Kylo Ren...
And I want a little more action. You know,
Oh, like, you mean like the scene with Luke Skywalker confronting the whole entire army of the 18
Okay, that was cool.
And all that? I wish it was real, though. Oh, spoiler alert again. You'll see this scene with Luke Skywalker confronting Kylo in the ATM-6 battle, whatever the hell, battle walkers they had.
People probably already seen it. Who has?
Okay. And they unleashed every bit of firepower onto Luke Skywalker possible, and he survived. I thought it was a badass moment. Like, Luke is
I thought it was
God.
too.
Oh my gosh. And
I wanted the smoke to clear,
yep.
and him still be there.
Yep.
Not him walk out of the smoke.
Yeah.
I wish he would just stay put.
Mm-hmm.
And
then the whole brushing his shoulder off thing was awesome.
That was awesome. That was good.
But the fact that it was just a force spirit, projection.
Which that's an awesome power.
It was an awesome power, but like I said, at the same time, I wish he was there because it would just show how strong he is now. Because everyone's like, he was a wimpy Jedi in the original series.
He was a wimpy Jedi.
But obviously now he was just ducking and weaving like Matrix style against his nephew, who we thought was this awesome. I mean, well, he is powerful, but was just ducking and weaving, not even using his own lightsaber against his nephew.
Yeah, he's just force powerful. He's not like
he's getting up to that par of Yoda, honestly.
Not even. Are you
don't
kidding?
Think so?
No,
because even Yoda didn't.
The time of the Old Republic was when the Jedi were at their highest peak.
That is what they said. Yep.
And Luke Skywalker, although he like a cool character and everybody was able to connect with him.
Mm-hmm.
Not a good Jedi, not a good fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and not very in tune with the Force. I feel like.
You don't feel like? I mean, well, that's what I'm saying. Is they didn't really give the audience a chance, or even anybody a chance to see what he could do. All they ever saw him do was do this Force projection of himself.
Yeah, but he went and became a hermit.
Luke Skywalker.
He was a hermit. He learned about the Force and he learned about the original Jedi Order.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said to hell with it.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't do any more training. He just lived as a hermit and guarded the place. That's the interpretation that I got from it.
Yeah, I kind of wish they went the route that, like I said, the novels don't matter. But in the novels, Luke Skywalker eventually became a very, very powerful Jedi. He actually started manipulating lightsabers on the point, kind of being like Darth Maul. He actually had like a hand and a half kind of lightsaber that was just super long.
Oh, yeah.
And he learned how to be a good fighter. He was pretty powerful. So I like how he started to look a little bit like Qui-Gon in the end, too. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Seems like the older a Jedi gets, they let the hair grow out and the beard grow out. It's like the longer your hair and beard is, the more high rank you are in the Jedi.
Yeah, he had
unless you're Mace Windu.
Yeah, he had a great look about him.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like he wasn't like that powerful, and he will always be that way. Like, yeah, he started a new Jedi temple and started training new Jedi.
They didn't show enough about
like he hadn't had any formal
of his own,
formal combat training.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he
well, neither did Rey, and look how strong she's getting.
Yeah, that's another thing that bugs me.
So
lightsabers are supposed to be the only weight is in the hilt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it's supposed to be so off-putting that you're supposed to have years and years of training before you're able to wield the thing.
Mm-hmm. It's like a baton.
Yeah.
So somebody told me this. Actually, I think it was my brother-in-law Tim was telling me that. So obviously, in this series of Star Wars, they're saying that no matter how strong one side is, there must be an equal somewhere else, which is why Snoke was so canny on going after Luke, because he knew that Kylo Ren was getting stronger. But as he was getting stronger, he knew someone else on the side of the Jedi was equally going to be as strong. It's the balance. So the stronger Kylo Ren gets, according to this mythology they're doing now, the Force will make her his equal.
Yeah.
So I guess that kind of, in my way, makes me happier to see that. That's why she's so strong. It's because the stronger Kylo gets, she will get as equally strong.
Yeah. Well, now she either has to find or build a new lightsaber.
Oh, yeah. Wait, what?
Yeah, because they destroyed Luke's, and that was the only one.
I thought that, because she had... You're right.
Yeah, they, like, tore it apart.
Yeah.
And then she's sitting there with at least the kyber crystal is still intact, but
we're running out of time.
No, I mean, we got a couple minutes. But yeah, she's gonna have to build a new one somehow. I mean, and she's got the original Jedi books.
Oh yeah, I forgot she hid them away.
She hid them in the Falcon.
So maybe she'll do what Luke didn't do, which was obvious. Did he even crack open those books at all? Or
I think he read them. I'm pretty sure he read them.
Because he had to learn a little bit about how to do that whole project himself.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll probably fuck it up and forget all about it.
I'm hoping that all of these mentors in the Force that learned how to come back from the netherworld of the Force train her.
Yeah, it was really nice to see Yoda come back.
And it was like the old puppet version of him,
yes,
too.
which was really, really good.
I was like, this looks like a strange Yoda that I've never... Oh, I've seen this before.
Yeah.
And he had like the original, like the crazy,
and
kooky Yoda voice.
And it was stupid how Luke goes and he's like, I'm going to burn this tree down. And then he hesitates.
Mm-hmm. And Yoda's like...
I was like, yes!
Even dead,
good
Yoda
job,
is
Yoda.
still stronger than Luke Skywalker. Okay, you
he's all like, it's the sacred Jedi text. And he's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Which is very...
You never learn.
Which is very not Yoda.
Yeah.
Because he was all about,
ancient Jedi ways.
Yeah.
I think he knew that Rey took them.
I think so too.
He had to.
Pretty sure.
Because Yoda's definitely all-knowing. For sure.
I hope Luke comes back in the next movie as a Force ghost.
And trains her the way he's supposed to.
Not necessarily trains her, just talks to her and gives her a little bit of advice.
Pep talks.
Yeah.
I would love, like I said, I would love to see all the original Jedi Masters like that come back as Force, because that'd be kind of cool to see. Oh, you don't think it'd be cool to see Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan and them all?
I mean, yeah.
Blessing.
But really, the only one who would come back would be...
Because technically, Qui-Gon's the one that learned how to do it, and then he talked to Yoda, and then Yoda learned how to do it, then Kenobi learned how to do it, and now Anakin... Anakin even. Yeah. That would be cool, is if Anakin Skywalker, the one that Kylo Ren is trying to be, comes to him and tells him the error of his ways.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but cast Hayden Christensen. I love Hayden Christensen. He was good Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, I liked him.
What great.
I liked when he was in Rogue One, too. They showed Darth Vader being badass.
Yes, that was such a good interpretation of
that
Vader.
Scene alone, I could have not seen any of the other parts of the movie and just seen that, and I would have been happy with it.
I enjoyed Rogue One. I enjoyed it a lot.
A lot of people were saying that movie didn't have to happen. It didn't. But it was still a good story. Because you always... I mean, that's essentially what it is. It's a Star Wars story that kind of fills in the gap. People got pissed because it didn't have the whole, backwards credits in the beginning of the movie. Who cares?
Who gives a shit? I was glad they didn't have the credit roll.
Yeah, I just boom right into it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is happening. And I like how they showed the Death Troopers. That was awesome because you never see them.
Yeah, you never see them.
Yeah.
It's just a lot wrong with Last Jedi, but I'm okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
I have to see it again.
Mm-hmm. I was told you have to see it at least 2 or 3 times to actually like it.
And here's the Disney thing with it. Ready? This is it. They mess with it so much that you have to buy another ticket to go see it.
Yeah.
See,
Disney's smart.
Yeah, that's Disney doing make a moolah.
It's like any other good show that's on TV that you watch it first just to watch it, then you have to go back again to see the small things you didn't notice.
Yeah,
it's like I didn't know about the kid with the broom and the Force until my friend saw it like 2 or 3 times. He said, "Oh, hey, did you see that?" What are you talking about? He told me. I didn't even see it.
Oh, you didn't see it?
No.
You were probably looking down or something.
I don't know what I was looking at. I was like, "Oh, who's this little kid?"
It was cool. He kind of looked like Anakin a little bit.
Or the kid that was like, "Master Skywalker, what do we do?" Remember?
Yeah. So is this kid? Here's another thing. Is this kid maybe a reincarnation of Anakin?
So
because he's the only other one that you see who's Force sensitive.
He's the only one. I think that was just them trying to tie in that even though she is the Last Jedi, that the Force
I don't think
is
she's the
still
Last
out.
Jedi.
Oh, I don't think that she's the Last Jedi. I don't think he's the last Sith. Definitely not. Back in the good old days, in the old Republic, there were thousands of both sides having humongous battles of Sith versus Jedi.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Snoke, I really like Snoke.
And then he gets snuffed like nobody's business.
It
was kind of cool.
It was cool.
Yeah.
But
I don't know where.
I was like, yeah, Snoke, we get to learn about him. And then he's dead.
He obviously was powerful. Obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. When he did like the whole mind fuck with Rey.
Let's face it, he wanted Kylo to kill him.
Oh, you think
he wanted
that was like his last test?
Yeah.
So you think he did that all on purpose?
Yeah. Just like the Sith rule, too.
So you think he knew he was going to die?
Mm-hmm.
So is he going to be like his own Sith ghost?
However, I really hope that they tie in the prequels, and he find out that he actually is Darth Plagueis.
Oh, like
and can reincarnate himself.
That happened with Emperor Palpatine too. He had a whole Voldemort thing going on where he had bodies created all over. He just jumped from body to body.
Yeah.
So it could happen.
It could happen. We'll see. We'll have to see for episode 9.
Yeah, I want to know who the hell he is because he had a cool character. I mean, people are saying, you didn't know enough about him before, and they took him out just as fast. It was okay.
Yeah.
I want to know who he was.
I want to know who he was.
Who is this crazy lord that came out of nowhere, rebuilt the Empire into the First Order, manipulated a Skywalker descendant, a Skywalker, into betraying his family? I mean, this guy's obviously somebody, and he came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So who the fuck was he?
Well, I guess we'll just have to find out. Okay, let's wrap up. Closing thoughts. Star Wars Episode 9.
Mm-hmm.
What's the title?
Oh, gosh. Star Wars Episode 9. Christ almighty. I don't know. That's a good question. Okay, so what we have right now for the new series, we have The Force Awakens.
Force Awakens.
The Last Jedi.
Last Jedi.
The Force Reborn. Something like down that. Because right now they're like, oh, there is no good or evil. there is no this and that, is what the whole thing with Luke was in this movie. Is that the Jedi are a lie. They're not what they said they were. They were all failures. So, I don't know.
Star Wars Episode 9 Reconciliation. And that's that. Thanks everybody for watching another episode of the Average Nerd Podcast. Go ahead and like and subscribe, and maybe we'll make another one of these soon.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Peace.